place, a new home for a while. Let me feel alive.
One of my favorite bloggers here in the Philippines, he loves the Philippines. I mean, he made a lot of money in the United States, and he's not that old. And he always begins with, I love the Philippines. And at the end he says, I love the Philippines. And I'm thinking, that's a little too much. So I've thought it over, and this is what I want to tell you. I love the Philippines. Hello folks, John Allen wonders where the road leads. Great to have you back. John Allen in the Philippines, where the road leads. This is John Allen in the Philippines with Where the Road Leads. Welcome back. John Allen in the Philippines, where the road leads. Hello again, this is John in the Philippines with Where the Road Leads. And where does your road lead? Back, John in the Philippines, where the road leads, and where does your road lead? This is John Allen. I love the Philippines. It changed my life. This is John Allen. My life has been changed by the Philippines. Good to have you back. One of my favorite bloggers in the Philippines, he's from the United States, and he loves it here. He's more of a Cebu guy, and so he starts his video with almost a boyish smile. I love the Philippines, and at the end he'll go, I love the Philippines. And I got thinking about that, and I thought, no, I can say that a little better, a little more nuanced. So I've been thinking about it, and this is what I want to tell you. I love the Philippines. So in other words, I think he had it right. And I do, and I am just enjoying being here right now. And in just a minute, we'll show you where I'm at. But I want to kind of introduce the theme. And I'd say my theme is something like making decisions. And I go back to college. You know how old I am. I went to college from 67 to 71 in Ohio. And during that time, there was a poster. I think maybe an anti-war, I'm not sure, but it said, not to decide is to decide. And I'm guessing some of you out there, that's where you are. You maybe want to come here or move somewhere or do something. Your money's not going far, you're discouraged, the political is driving you nuts, and you want to do something, but instead of deciding, you get all upset with the news, one side or the other, and you're going crazy. And I would just say to you, not to decide is to decide. So that's the setup. And you can see a little bit where I am here on the island of Mindanao, very remote. This is where my wife of 11 years, this is where her family's from, and this is just some random river. And it's beautiful here. I mean, people coming down from the mountain into town with 4 or 5 on a motorbike. Just a minute ago, we heard loud singing, and I thought it was stereo, but Vince said, no, that's church. They're praising God, because you listen and you hear, hallelujah, hallelujah. And here it was a different church, and they're loud and they're singing, because it is Sunday morning here. Now Vince and the family, they had church at 7, so they've already been to the church. So I guess I want you to, and I'm not an advice guy. If you want an advice guy, you know, I wouldn't listen to me. I'm more of a idea guy. Maybe if you're, because I know if you're thinking about a decision, I know how people think, and you're thinking, can I afford it? How about my family? I'm too old. I'm not sure. I hear some people do terrible in the Philippines or Vietnam or Cuenca, Ecuador. And so you don't decide. You don't decide. And I get that. That's kind of my life, not to decide. So I've had a good life. Been, you know, ministering churches. I helped churches raise money for 15 years. Done a lot of different things. And I'm a nice, friendly, faithful guy, but twice divorced. Neither one my idea, and I'm not going to get any specifics, but a long time ago. And so I'm single 10 years, and I'm happy, but maybe dating. And I know if there are women watching, you're thinking, men. The men these days, no. And the men are thinking, women, oh, women. So we're both kind of going like this, and we're both older, 50s, 60s, 70s, whatever. And it's frustrating. So that's where I was. And I had a friend that had met a Filipina. So I thought, huh. And then I go back to the poster. Not to decide is to decide. So I was actually working this little church part-time, and I decided I'm going to go to the Philippines. No girlfriend, no plan to stay, but for about a month. See if I like it there. That was kind of decision one. So Mr. Not to decide guy, me, decided to go, and this would have been like in January of 2014, let's say. So I come here, spend a couple days in Manila. It's almost too much, crazy. And I didn't really know anything about the Philippines. Now I know a little bit. And so I heard Boracay, the white sands of Boracay. So I rented a place for 2 weeks or so, and I'm hanging out in Boracay and having fun and going out on boats. And, I met, some girls, but that wasn't my intent at that time. I just want to see if I like it. And then I went home and I said, I like it. So I decided to do something dangerous. And some of you guys know what I mean. I'm going to go online. Well, online in the United States is dangerous. Online internationally is dangerous. Why? Because for the guys, let's say, the girls are mainly scammers. And a lot of times the guys don't have a pure heart, if I can put it that way. So it's hard, but I thought, I'll try it. I can figure it out. So there was one girl. Of course, I found out in the first day that I had 10 young women who all loved me. So I thought, that's kind of nice. That went fast. And so there was one, I thought, well, maybe I'll go meet her in 2-3 months. So I was going to plan to see her, and I made some reservations. She said, no. I have a friend that's a travel agent. If you send this amount of money, you can get a cheap flight and a hotel for 2 weeks. So I thought, okay. But I waited. I decided, but I waited a little bit. And then I finally got the phone number for her travel agent. Well, her travel agent was her best friend, and there was no savings, and that money was going to go to her family. So I challenged her, and she admitted it. And it was like nothing happened. We come anyway, we're poor, it's okay. And I looked at her and I said, it's not okay. To me, it's not okay. You lie a little bit now, you're going to lie a lot later. So even I, at the time, 64 maybe, was smart enough to figure that. So I go through, and then I finally see a woman. I'll tell you more later why I was attracted. So I came back three more times and met her family, and I probably went faster than a lot of people do, but we've been married now. We got a fiancé visa. We've been married about 11 years. So that was my decision. And then I'm still working. I don't have much money, and she doesn't have much. And I'll tell you more later, but she developed her skill, which was massage, went to school, she became a master esthetician during COVID. So now she's doing great, and we're there, but we come here a lot. And someday, when I'm older, in my 80s, God willing, we'll be here all the time. But for now, we're making money, and she's helping her family a lot. And I'll explain later. She's helping in what I would say are smart ways. There's dumb ways to help, like the government. Excuse my comments, but government's just not good at this. I don't care what side you're on. Government doesn't do that very well, but she's been very smart, sending her sisters through school. One's going to be a nurse, one's a teacher. She's planting trees, a lot of things smart. So I come here and I just love the Philippines. I mean, it's just a beautiful place. And I guess I don't want to go on forever, although I could. A little bright. But I'm thinking about you. I'm thinking about one person, and you're living maybe in Canada. Maybe you're in Spain, or I don't know, say the United States, where I'm from, and you're where I was. You're not deciding. You're thinking, and you're not real happy with what you're doing. Maybe it's inflation, your money not going far, you can't work When you retired, you hated it. You were burnt out, toast, done, over. Me, I kind of took some breaks along the way. In my earlier YouTubes, I told you in my life, I've taken a couple, I would call epic bike rides, one to South America, one across the United States twice. I mean, who does that? Well, I did. And so that gave me thinking time along the way. Really great for my soul, really bad for my pocketbook. But I had that, and so I come to this deciding, and I thought this is not good for my pocketbook to come to the Philippines, but then I'm hearing blogs, you can live on $600 a month, which you can, but you probably won't. More of an average, people spend maybe $1,800 a month. If you live in BGC, it's more. If you live in the province, it's a lot less. If you are spending a lot of money eating out, drinking a lot, it's not enough. But you find a budget. But anyway, I wasn't thinking budget. I was thinking love, which I found. I love my wife so much, more all the time. And I love her family. I mean, she has 6 brothers and sisters. Vince here is her brother-in-law, and they just had a baby. And I just want, this is really for you to make a decision. Some decision. I don't know. I don't know your life. I don't know anything about you. But I'm just guessing, if you're still watching here after 7, 8 minutes, you might be thinking, maybe that John Allen in the Philippines, maybe it's something to think about. So I would just urge you, our goal is to have 2 videos a week. I finally gave up on the editing, and I'm not here to encourage you to do YouTube. Very difficult. But I plan to minimum give it 3 years because it takes a while. I don't have goals of making money. You know, if it turns out, maybe it will, but that's not my goal. And I just love it being here. But for you, it's more making the first decision. And anything in life, you make this decision, like I came for a month. Okay, I was ready for the next decision. I go online. I get scammed a little bit, not too bad. And then I meet somebody. I come and I meet her. And a lot of times when you meet her, no, that's not good either. But for me it worked. But it was one thing after another, after another, after another. And now for my wife and me, because I'm still having fun what I'm doing, I'm actually making a difference in a very rural area. And I like it, and I love it here. So I come here whenever I can. But I'd like to help you decide. So, not to decide is to decide. How about you? This is John Allen in the Philippines. Love you all. God bless. Bye-bye.
Oh, I feel so alive. As I reach out to the sky. I found my way. I was in the dark against it all, but made it through the day, 'cause I found my way.